In the beginning, there was darkness. And then, boom, a little egg appeared. And out of that egg, a freaking deity. The deity of all Pokemon appeared. And his name was Arceus. Now, Arceus decided, hey, let's put a little circle, a little world together and fill it up with stuff. So he did. And he created the Sinnoh region and the Pokemon world. And then he's like, wait a minute, it's still too dark. Let's turn on the light. And boom, light appeared, and Arceus said, let there be light. And there was, apparently. Or so the story goes. Something like that. I don't know. This is the Cliff Notes version. But that kind of leads me to my theory for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? My name is Iggy, and welcome to a little theory, a little ignalysis, if you will, regarding Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We're gonna do a little deep dive. And I'm talking the deep dive that you kind of do when you get your protein or your pre-workout for the first time, and you're trying to scoop in, scoop your fingers in and try to find that scoop. We're doing that kind of dive. It's that kind of dive. So where do we start? Where do we start? I guess we'll start from the outside in, okay? And then we'll talk about some of the leaks and things. Just a couple of leaks. There's so many freaking leaks. It's a whole like spider web of stuff. But we're gonna do like the most recent kind of leaks and things that people kind of instantly dismissed that I kind of feel like deserve a little light, if you will. Starting off, the names. Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. So obviously, those are really interesting colors. Like just going back through for Pokemon and, gold, silver, crystal, red, blue, diamond, platinum, the metallics, the basic colors, the original, the main colors, red, blue, yellow. You got your metallics, you got your diamonds, and then we're going to Scarlet and Violet. Now, why Scarlet and Violet? Could be a couple things. Obviously, ultraviolet light. One of my theories, and it could all mesh together, or I could be right on one or none. But like I said, these are my theories. It's what I think, and I like to look a little bit deeper, similar to kind of like theorize, but kind of like Loxin and Noggin in a way. But my own version. I like to kind of pick and look at certain things. So in the town center, we get that little clip, that little screenshot of the town center with what looks like it's in the center is a little Pokeball, with all the little mishmash and colors in the Pokeball. So you got the white side, you got all the little colors in there, and then it kind of expands out, right? It bursts out, and you got all the different types all around the corner, all around the circle, the different colors and everything. So I'm thinking we're gonna bring back Necrozma, right? The Prism. It's like the Prism Pokemon, the Absorber, the Devourer of Light. And we're gonna bring Arceus into the picture. So why just say, why Arceus? Why do Pokemon Legends Arceus, the creator? Spain is very, it's the region is supposed to be based on Spain, right? Spanish culture, and religion plays is a huge factor in Spanish culture and everything. It's huge. Trust me. I married a Latin American woman, so it's huge. And I'm thinking Arceus, being this deity, right, is the light, the bringer of light, or can be the light. And Necrozma is actually a pretty big baddie, a big bad Pokemon, right? It's a devourer of light. It's an ultra beast, a UB. And it's funny because B in Spanish they don't really pronounce. A lot of it's not. The B isn't usually pronounced, at least from what I'm familiar with. So it's like a V. So it's like UV, ultraviolet. Kind of funny with COVID, the bacteria killer. Anyway, so that was kind of interesting to me. But I'm thinking a UB or Necrozma might come back into the picture. and it might be this thing with Arceus and Necrozma. This is one theory, right? And that battle kind of really sent out the typings. Basically, it spread the typing. So you have Mew, obviously, it's like the ancestor of all Pokemon, but Mew is like I think it's a psychic type. Yeah, Mew. I don't know why I said I think Mew is a psychic type, right? So why wouldn't each Pokemon have a psychic typing? I'm thinking that this battle between Necrozma and Arceus at some point disperse the typings and create all kinds of different things. So I feel like a lot of these Pokemon might have been psychic in the beginning, and they got hit with this ray of light, a specific light imbued with power. Even Necrozma's eyes have different different colors on him. So I'm thinking that kind of is like a theory. We're gonna do kind of like a in the beginning type story, which kind of leads me to the titles, right? The color, Scarlet and Violet. Well, usually, Scarlet kind of, that color, Scarlet color kind of represents the church, the cardinal. I mean, purple does too, Violet does as well, but in this instance, Scarlet is kind of the church or religion or belief, and Violet could represent the royalty, the crown, the purple and the crown. I think the story, the plot in this one might be tension between royalty and religion or whatever it is, belief. But basically, the dispute was just what is earned, what you earn, possibly spiritually, I don't know, what you earn versus like what people feel is entitled. Usually royalty is like, I'm entitled to that. That might be the two beliefs. One of the most recent leaks was, let me grab it, the two institutes, right? The main theme is a school rivalry between the Scarlet Institute and a Violet Academy. So you have obviously, like your public schools and your private schools, your religious schools. So that could play into the factor. Scarlet Institute, the Scarlet, could be the church. Obviously, it's more institutional, and Violet is like kind of the state or the monarchy, whatever it is, an academy, right? Because they're prestigious. I'm in an academy, essentially. Kind of, it's more of like a upper class, it's a fancier term for school, So I think that is kind of where this is going to go. And obviously, it's my theory, right? If you like it, let me know. Leave a like. Let me know in the comments. But we're not done yet. No. We're not done yet. I think, as I said, right, the town center circle is the center of a mash of colors. It spreads like a spectrum. Another Pokemon that could return, I believe, is Ho-Oh. Obviously, the rainbow Pokemon. Ho-Oh might come into this. Or Necrozma. I really feel like one of those might. Ho-Oh is the rainbow Pokemon. But it kind of leads to, the other leak that said, there's going to be a third typing. So in the same recent, or the same leak that kind of, that just came out, that said the main gimmick is a spirit Pokemon that can inhabit any Pokemon and grant a third type to all Pokemon for 3 turns. I don't know. It could be true. It could be the new gimmick, like Gigantamaxing, which that leak about the Diglett being super sky high, very reminiscent of Gigantamax from Meowth. I feel like that, as cool as it is, it might be a scrapped idea from Sword and Shield, a Gigantamax Diglett, or a regional variant of Diglett. It'd be really cool, like a water ground type, like a geyser. As it looks, it looks freaking awesome. But I think that might have just been a scrapped idea for Pokemon Sword and Shield. But who knows? It looks good, looks convincing. It looks a lot more convincing than the Pineapple Oddish, which brings me to my next topic. It looks cool, The rendering looks off a little bit. Considering the Seviper that we saw with the scales, the super polished scales, it looks really nice. And the Tyranitar, the texture on there, but who knows? Even that Scorpion leak looked real. That Scorpion leak, way back in the beginning, the shade and the color kind of looked similar to the Seviper in a way, that metallic looking armor type, but I'm sure it's probably fake. It looks too like Digimon-esque. And Pokemon seems to be more on the softer edges side for a lot of things, except Necrozma. Necrozma's a freaking beast. What can I say? I think it's even stronger than Arceus. Literally, if it absorbs and devours light, I think that's going to be the basis. It's Ultra Beasts are going to come back, at least in relation to Spain and Hawaii. So going back to the Pineapple Oddish and the Gloom, it's not too far-fetched. People looked at it and they said, oh, that's a pineapple. That's Hawaii. Alola came and passed. Nah. Technically, pineapple, I think, has a Hispanic or Latin American heritage, but beginnings. It's roots, so to say. I think it was Peru. Well, let me grab it. I had my note. I had it here somewhere saved. Not Peru. Okay, so Philippines, Costa Rica, and Brazil are top producers of pineapples. Apparently, I have my note here because it was kind of a lot of information. It was something like really interesting. Christopher Columbus discovered pineapples in Guadalupe in 1493, brought them back to Spain, but it's still within that Latin American heritage or area zone. Super far back, there was evidence of cultivation, far back as like the 1200s, 800 BC in Mexico. It was cultivated by the Mayas and Aztecs. So there's a theory that it was brought over to Hawaii from Spain. There's a little story or theory that says that Hawaii, there was a shipwreck, a Spanish shipwreck, and there was crates and cargo of pineapple, and that's where they came and they cultivated it and obviously grew it in Hawaii. But there is Spanish pineapple in Spain or in this Latin America region is not far-fetched. It's not too far-fetched. So I think that could, and it could have been a scrapped idea from Alola that they bring. We've seen it numerous times that they revisit and bring up concepts for another generation. So I think that is a possibility. But I also think is the introduction of light type. I think they might bring with that whole 3 typing thing. It could be the case where there's that Pokemon that inhabits other Pokemon, like a gimmick, like a mega thing, and so now I have a water type or whatever the situation is, like a Diglett with a water type or a 3rd typing. But I don't know. We'll see. I feel like that's a lot. That's a lot of balancing, and granted, it's only for 3 turns apparently, but I think that's kind of more just a play on like, oh, we have Gigantamax and Gigamax and whatever it is, Dynamax fresh in our mind with 3-turn thing. Let's just plug this in there and see what people can make of it. I don't know. I think there's going to be an introduction to a light type, and there's a lot of Pokemon that can adapt that light type. It could even balance out the fairy type, which it only has, poison and steel. It's weak to. So I truly think Solgaleo could grab the light type, or Arceus could be a light type. It could be in addition to normal or whatever it is. But I think they can introduce a light type in this generation. I mean, there was one of the bull leak, the leak that had the bull with the 2 bulls behind it. That I think is going to be another new generation bull. And I think the 2 bulls behind it is going to be a branched evolution. So it's like, it's one for male, one for female. But I think that's going to be like a bull minotaur type deal. It'd be really cool, but for it to be like a minotaur. But I think it's going to have like 1 female, 1 male version. So I don't think it's going to be a Tauros with an evolution. That is going to be my take on that one. But on the leak, it has like a 1 with a question mark, then like a 2 with a question mark, and like a 5 or something like that. I'll try to put a photo here for you for reference. But I'm thinking the reason it says 1, 2, and 5, Gen 1 was the introduction of Pokemon and types. Gen 2 was the introduction of Dark type, and I think Steel type. Gen 5, I think it's supposed to be Gen 6 with the Fairy type introduction. So I think there might be a new type introduction in this one. But that's just a theory. I don't know. Going back to Alola again, I know I'm kind of zigzagging all over the place, but forgive me, I don't have a polished script writing development team. But the baile style, baile is like dance, bailando, Oricorio was introduced in Alola, the Alolan region. But that's not Hawaiian. I mean, I know the line of the Oricorio line has different dance styles from different cultures, but it leads me to believe that Alola is going to have, you know, a good say in this. So it's like you have there's been, you know, obviously a mix with Alola and you know, Hawaii and Spain in the past historically. So I think that kind of is like a nod to the possibility. You know, it's a flamenco bird. Literally, it's a it's a flamenco bird. That's like, that is Spanish dancing. Also, on this leak says the orange and grapes, right, that we saw throughout the trailer all over, oranges and grapes. Why oranges and grapes? Why were they there? Well, grapes do kind of have that nod to royalty. You know, the grapes, the guy in the throne being fed the grapes. And oranges do have a nod in Spanish culture as, or just maybe Spanish or even like religious culture in general. They're ornamental decorations for like mosques and palaces. So it's you know, it's there. The tie-in is there. Oranges with like religion, like mosques, grapes for royalty as well. So I think that's going to be that tension, is between religion and royalty in this one. That's just my thought. Puerco vine, that's pretty cool. Like bovine, grass and pig type. Tentacrux, like the crux, cross, tentacruel evolution. I don't know about that one. Maybe. Parasur, I like it. Parasect evolution. So 3 types. I think that 3-type thing might also be like there's going to be a 3rd type of evolution for a specific Pokemon. So it might not necessarily be a new typing or a 3rd typing. I just think that this generation is going to bring a lot of, or a decent amount of 3rd evolutions. Possibly. This is going to be a lot of new Pokemon in this gen from what I've seen and what I've heard. So that leads me to believe that a lot of new Pokemon include evolutions of Pokemon in the past. Oh, and going back to the Gloom leak with the Oddish, the Pineapple Gloom, even on that kind of has the on the back left of the Gloom, there's a little flower pattern that matches the town center ground. So that's a cool little detail. There's even a trainer next to him. So I'm sure it's somebody you're going to talk to, interact with. On a doubt, it's not a battle scene. So it's probably somebody with their Gloom, their regional, you know, variant of Gloom, talking or whatever it is, or showing you the Gloom, saying, "Oh, we have regional variants here," stuff like that. So that's a cool little detail. I feel like that wouldn't really be there. The details around that image wouldn't really be there if that was just a leak, somebody just to brush off immediately. So, food for thought. But that is my theory, as I said, not just a game theory. That's my theory. That's my ignalysis for you. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback, your thoughts. I'm sorry I was kind of all over the place. I tried to keep it as narrow as I could, but I tried to tie it all together because it all comes together. I really think that that's going to be the major beliefs, because there's going to be the conflict. You know, there's obviously a conflict with 2 groups, or groups in a lot of Pokemon games. Or recently, you know, obviously like we have the N Black and White, which is kind of like similar, the 2 kings. So I think, and that was a really loved story. So I think they're going to kind of bring it back to the whole kings and stuff like that. So that's why I really think it's going to be religion, or a type of religion. I don't know how in-depth Pokemon's going to get with religion and stuff, and royalty. So I think that's going to be the clash, the Institute and the Academy. That kind of makes sense to me. So that does kind of go along with what I'm saying, what I'm thinking. The Necrozma and Arceus thing could be a possibility as well. I really see kind of like that light hitting the prism in battle, scattering all the different types. So, and Necrozma is a really strong Pokemon, so that can really rival Arceus to kind of protect the order of life. I mean, it's, you know, it's an Ultra Beast. It comes from different dimensions to, you know, and absorbs light, and light is like life. So that's my thought. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, what you think. If you stuck with me for this long, thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it, and just hearing me out, you know, letting me speak and letting me kind of get my thoughts and ideas out there. How far they're gonna go, who they're gonna reach, you know, that's up to you guys if you want to share it. But you know, all I can do is get it out there before it's out there. But anyways, I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care. Peace.